Are you considering going on holiday to Benidorm, but you've heard all these horror stories? You're going to get mugged. This crime permeating through the whole area. It's really rough. It's expensive. It's full of karaoke drunks and idiots and con men and dangers. But the thing is it like that? Not really. But yes, there is parts of Benidorm that are very snidey and creepy and dangerous. But you can be aware of them if you understand where these parts are. Because in this video, we're going to discuss where is it in Benidorm that you should avoid, where all the horror stories are. How do you keep yourself safe? What part do we stay away from? Okay, if you know this, then there's nothing to worry about. So in this video, there's going to be nothing to worry about because I'm going to go through everything with you, telling you the best places to avoid where all the bad things happen. And you're going to learn everything you need to know, probably more than the locals, starting right now. Hi everybody, today I want to talk to you about something a little bit different. We all know Benidorm is a great holiday spot. The sunshine, the beaches, the nightlife and the cheap prices. It's all going on there. Everything you want, it's all on your doorstep. And you can get there from the UK in what, 2.5 hours, which is fantastic. And usually you can get a flight for as low as what, £30, which is sort of unreal, but it's true. But there are also some things about Benidorm that people don't always talk about. So in this video, I'm going to be completely honest with you and I'll tell you what I think is the worst part of Benidorm and why it can literally ruin a holiday or your holiday for people, you and your friends, and most importantly, how you can avoid it. Now, do I know what I'm talking about? Yes. How do I know what I'm talking about? Because I'm there all the bloody time. I practically live there, so I know how it works. Right, so let's have a look. You've got the party scene, which is fun or nightlife. That's what people tend to go for. Let's start with the nightlife. For some people, this is the best part of Benidorm. You've got the bars, you've got the clubs, you've got the cheap drinks and the music that goes on until the sunrise, literally all bloody night. Sometimes I'll be out and it'll be 4 or 5 in the morning and it's still packed. It's like crazy. It's like a different world. But for other people, this is the worst part of Benidorm. Imagine this, you've booked a nice hotel near the strip and that's where all the party action is. You're there, you're thinking it will be lively and fun, but at 3 in the morning, you're still wide awake because the music from the bars downstairs are literally vibrating through the room. And you can hear thousands of people making loads of noises because they're drunk. And it's all coming through your balcony window because it's so bloody hot. Eventually, you kind of goes off and then it's 5 a.m. A group of drunk lads come back shouting and singing and banging on the hotel doors. By the time the sun comes up, you feel more tired than you did when you arrived. That's not a great holiday, is it? And it's not the holiday you had in mind, but believe me, this happens all the time, right? But don't worry, there's an answer. You see, for many people, the non-stop party atmosphere is the worst part of Benidorm. But here's the good news. You can avoid it. If you don't want that scene, don't stay right next to the strip. Stay in the old part of Benidorm. That's near Penenti Beach. It's nice there. I call it posh. And because it's posh, it's a lot quieter. So what we've got to be aware of as well, once you are in that type of area, the strip part, there's always pushy promoters. Another thing people complain about is the bars and the club promoters. It's not as bad as it is in places like Tenerife, but you do get a lot of promoters saying, come in, come in, come in, come in. And you're like, go away, go away. It's sort of constantly trying to drag you in. Now, these are the people who stand outside the bars trying to drag you into their clubs. They'll shout things like free shots or cheap cocktails. A lot of the time, they ask you if you want drugs, so be aware of that. And if you've been to Benidorm, I can guarantee they've asked you. Okay, at first it's vibrant, it's exciting, and it feels a bit of fun. You get a lot of attention. You think that you're getting a bargain. But here's what often happens. You go inside that bar and you order a couple of drinks, and then the bill arrives, and then suddenly it's a lot more than you expected it to be. And you think, well, I'm not paying that. Now, this is where the problem starts. This is when the doormen come. Now, the doormen in Benidorm are quite known. There's a reputation, believe me. They can be very heavy-handed. You'll hear reports all the time of the doormen being very aggressive. They're not like in England. If you're an aggressive bouncer in England, you'll get your badge taken away from you. If you're aggressive in Benidorm, you get away with it, and the police don't do anything about it. Honestly, I've seen it so many times. I see it right in front of me. I've seen people get beaten up right in front of me, and you're just like, what's that all about? It's just the reality because it's a different country. So beware of that. Just don't act like an idiot. Going back to the bars, I hear this all the time of people being charged 80 euros for just a few drinks. When they complain, obviously the bouncers step in and they'll force you to pay. So again, when I say force, they will make you pay it. And if you don't, then they're not going to report you. They're going to sort you out. And it sounds horrible, that, but it's true. But again, don't be stupid and don't fall into these traps, and you'll be all right. You see, for so many tourists, the pushy promoters and the bar scams are one of the worst parts of Benidorm. And now, how do you avoid it? Well, it's simple. Only go into the bars where you can see the drinks menu and the prices up front. If the deal sounds too good to be true, then it usually is. A lot of bars in Benidorm, the decent ones, they'll have big signs outside and it'll tell you exactly how much things are, which is good. And they don't tend to have security on the doors. There's one particular bar, should I say what it is? No, but you'll know about it and you just don't go in there. Another thing you've got to watch out is for the street scams. Now let's talk about the scams. One of the most famous scams that they do have, and they have this all over Europe, but especially Spain, is the P-Man scam. And people still fall for the P-Man scam. I can't know why, because it's been going on for years. But this is something that's very prevalent in Benidorm, and it looks very enticing. So how does it work? So this is a guy with 3 cups and a little ball. He shuffles the cups around like that, and he'll ask you to guess where the P is under the cup. And you think, I know where it is, and you'll say that one, and you've lost. You will not get it right. You will never win because it's a scam. But it looks so enticing. But if you're aware of it, you're not going to do it. Stay away from the P-men. I can't stress that. Don't even look at them. Because if you go over to them, what happens? There's a crowd of them. And you think it's tourists, like looking, but they're not. The group of people are usually working with the P-men. And what they'll do, they'll pickpocket you. I'm not trying to put you off, but this is the reality of it. Just have your wits about you. Don't be stupid. If it looks too easy, too good to be true, it is. Stay away from the P-men. So again, it looks really easy, and my mate, I told him about the P-men, and when he came over to Benidorm to stay with me, lo and behold, he was walking down the street and he saw the P-men and he said, oh, that looks like easy money. But again, I said, it's rigged. The ball disappears and you'll never win. But he's like, oh yeah, whatever. I know it's under there. I couldn't stop him. It's in there. And he lifted the cup. No, it's not there. You took his money off him. Gone. And if you argue with these P-men saying, wait a minute, you just had me off there, they'll just attack you and then they'll run off. Just stay away from them. Okay, so what's worse? The crowd around him are often part of the scam, like I said before. They pretend to be tourists who are actually winning money, but they're all in on it to make it look more authentic. but they're really helping the con men. I can't stress this enough, so be aware of it. And again, if you complain to them, they'll surround you, and then suddenly you feel threatened, and it's all designed that way. Just stay away from them. That is the main thing, because it will literally ruin your holiday, because they'll take your money and there's nothing you can do about it. I'd say that's definitely one of the worst parts of Benidorm. But again, the trick is simple. Don't play. If you see a crowd gathering around a street game, just keep walking. Don't make eye contact with them. Just keep walking and it'll be fine. Hey, what else is there? Obviously, there's the thieves in the night, the pickpocketers. Another bad side of Benidorm is the pickpocketers, because it's such a busy holiday hotspot with lots of tourists drinking and relaxing. It's a perfect hunting ground for thieves. So picture this. You're on the strip, dancing, having a laugh with your friends. You put your phone in your back pocket and an hour later, it's gone. Or maybe you're lying on the beach relaxing and you pop into the sea for a swim, and when you come back, your bag has vanished. This happens all the time. I can't stress this. I'm not trying to put a negative light on Benidorm. I'm just talking about the negative things. And I'm very aware of them. And I've been robbed before. And I have my wits about me. I really do. I had one of them, like a charger for my phone, like a little adapter thing. It was heavy. I could feel it in my pocket. There's no way someone's going to get that. And I'm aware of my surroundings. I remember one night I went to put my hand in my pocket and it's gone. I'm like, how's that gone? How's that gone? I'm surrounded by all my mates and I didn't see it coming. They're so bloody sneaky. So for many people, losing their stuff to a pickpocketer is the worst part of the holiday. So how do you avoid it? Don't keep valuables in easy places of reach. Use a cross-body bag that zips up. They're the ones that go across your chest. You've got like a zip. People call them man bags. They're good because people can't really get into them. Don't leave your phone or your wallet on your table under any circumstances. And never, ever, 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 ever leave your bag unattended, because it'll be gone. Another thing is the overcrowding. Another downside to big crowds. Benidorm is one of the busiest holiday resorts in Spain. In the summer, the beaches are packed, literally, and finding a spot for your towel can feel like a battle because it's so saturated. I know everyone says, well, the media say that Benidorm's not busy. It is. I've been in there June, July, August, September, October, November, December. It's packed. It's always busy. It's always busy. I think the bars are full, the restaurants are full, and the streets are buzzing with noise. Some people love that. They love the energy. They love being around loads of people because they feel secure. It's full of Brits. We're all together and it's wonderful. But others find it overwhelming. If you were hoping for a calm, quiet holiday, this can feel like the worst part. Now, if that's you, then avoid peak season. Go in for times like May, September, October, because it's still sunny, but it's not as overcrowded. I'll give you an example. I went in June, the beginning of June, and it was full of stags. Basically men. There was hens there, but mainly men. 99% men. It was crazy. And then the following week, they all disappeared. It was weird. So it depends on what time of the year you go. September's more older people. June's very young, vibrant stags and all that. And obviously July and August is families, but you still get groups of lads. But again, go in the quieter months because it's less crowded and you'll have more fun. Okay, you've got the old Brits abroad reputation. I also need to mention the reputation that the British have. Some people say the worst part about Benidorm is the behaviour of certain tourists, usually British, and I'm British. But this is the reputation we've got, unfortunately, due to certain people doing certain things. We've seen this all too often in the headlines. You'll see drunk Brits passed out on the pavements, and you see fights outside the nightclubs. It's all the bloody time. Now, it's not fair to say everyone is like that, because they're not. Most people go to enjoy their holiday and they behave themselves fine. But there is a few, and very few, very, very few, that give Benidorm a bad name. Well, because of the Brits. And if you happen to be staying near a holiday trap like the Strip, then you'll get the same impression. Again, I've been there so many times, and I think you have the odd. You don't have people who are violent usually. You get people who are too drunk, and they'll be just being stupid, almost childlike. But they're not doing anything bad. They're not aggressive. They're just drunk. Again, by observing that, it can make you feel uncomfortable. If you're with your family or you're with a partner and you want a nice relaxing holiday, and you've got some big fella or gang of lads with their tops off going, oh, acting stupid, you're like, this is lunacy. I'm come here for peace and quiet, not to watch flipping that idiot. But again, you can avoid it. Just don't go down the Strip part of it. The way you could avoid things like this is very simple. Again, choose your area wisely. The Strip is where most of the behavior, negative behavior, happens. But the Old Town, you'll see a totally different side of Benidorm. Because what I do when I go to Benidorm, I stay in the Old Town, but I'll go drinking in the newer town, the Strip part. And if it gets too much, I think, you know what, I'm going home. But when you go home to the Old Town, it's very calm and relaxing. It's a completely different vibe. Completely. It's like two different places. And they're only like a 20-minute walk from one another. It's like literally around the corner. Right, so what are my final thoughts on this? So what's the worst part of Benidorm? It really depends on what kind of holiday you want. If you're going for the nightlife, then the worst part might be the hangovers. But if you're going for a relaxing trip, then the worst part might be the noise and the lager louts and the beer monsters and the loud karaoke with people who can't sing and the drunken, people on the streets with half a kebab in their hand. It can put you off a little bit, but it's not aggressive. They're just drunk. That's it. They've drank too much beer. Remember, it's very cheap in Benidorm. You can get a pint for like €2. The average pint of the day is about €3. And believe me, that's cheap compared to England prices. And you're sitting in the sun drinking, you don't realise how much you've drank. Before you know it, you're intoxicated and you start acting like an idiot. So that could be one of the worst things. And then you've got the pickpocketers. Again, they're not everywhere. As long as you have the wits about you, you're fine. But that's it. And here's the thing. Almost all of it can be avoided if you plan ahead. I go on Benidorm on my own as a solo traveller. So someone like me, I could be a target if I'm walking home at 2, 3 in the morning, which I do. And it's a 20-minute walk and I'm going down all these dark alleys. I'm a prime target. Someone's going to get me, aren't they? But I've got my wits about me. They're not going to just attack you. What they tend to do, they tend to kill you with kindness. They'll come in like, hiya, mate. You just say, go away. Go away, mate, or just don't look at them. And they won't just jump on you and beat you up. I've not heard any stories like that. I've certainly not seen any. Again, stay in the right area. Avoid the obvious scans. Keep away from, keep your eye on your stuff and don't get dragged into these dodgy bars. Believe me, don't. If they're that good, they wouldn't want to drag people in, would they? Makes sense. But again, if you do that and you avoid the worst part of Benidorm, that's as simple as that. And you'll enjoy the best instead. I love Benidorm. Absolutely love it. It's brilliant. It's definitely the best European holiday from my experience anywhere. It's really good because you get the best of both worlds. You can have it loud, you can have it quiet. You can have a dance, you can be relaxed, and you can be entertained because the shows there are fantastic. Just keep your wits about you like you would in England. To be honest, I think England's a lot worse than bloody Benidorm. True story. But anyway, that's all for me now. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something in this video and it gave you some insight. Remember, everything I'm sharing with you is not exaggerated. I'm not trying to be negative, and we're only talking about the negative side of it. But all in all, Benidorm's amazing. It really is. Everybody is happy, and that's what I've experienced. Everyone's in a good mood because they're on holiday. And that's what we're all going for, to enjoy ourselves. But until next time, guys, I'll see you later.